everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress Up, a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me per usual, two of your other hosts. We got Brian, also known as the Beard, and New Reliable, and Mr. Negative on a Dragon Ball Z redemption arc. And we got Devin, also known as the Brains, and Mr. Nowhere.
Yo.
How are we guys doing?
Is Devin the Brains? Devin?
I'm not. I was gonna say, like, I don't think that fits me, but you know what? It's okay. Happy to be here.
Well, Devin used to be the Beard, but then Brian took that title.
Yeah.
I think.
he shaved his beard, and I just grew mine larger and larger.
Brian, it'll be like if you put a grunt in charge of your fire team in Mass Effect 2, and then they all just fucking die.
Oh no. Listen, he survived, and that's all that matters.
Man, my first playthrough, I did that. I was like, dude, Grunt would be the best leader. And then they just fucking all died. I was like, oh, wait. Yeah, maybe it should be like Garrus. Somebody with some leadership experience.
Maybe the tactician. Maybe, yeah.
So basically what we're saying is Devin is Garrus. Okay, gotcha.
No, he's the history buff, so he got some brains there somewhere.
There you go. A little bit.
Yes, listeners, so it's just the three of us this week. And as you can see from the title, we don't really have a main topic this week. We fuddled around too long, and we also were just very busy this week. So we're going to do kind of a big news talky catch-up episode. There's a lot of stuff that happened, a lot of random stuff, so not really one centralized idea. So we're going to spend this week, and it might also be a mini-sode, but also it might not. We say that whenever this happens, and they're usually not, especially if it's me and Brian, so who knows? Yeah, so we're just going to do that, talk about a lot of fun stuff this week. Gamescom obviously happened this week, but there was some stuff there, some trailers, some other big news, some PlayStation handheld stuff. Boo. As usual, if you want to avoid spoilers of any kind or just skip a section or topic you're not interested in or a piece of news, check the time codes because it's all down there. With that, guys, should we get this show on the road?
Let's do it.
News talk.
Alrighty.
Do it.
First piece of news.
Y'all didn't play that game. It was the Justin Roiland game.
Oh, was that what's that game called?
High on Life or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a gun that just usually, whenever you took him out, he goes, "Let's do it."
That's funny. It's too bad he's Well, we don't know. We don't move. Let's move on.
It was a funny game. He's not a funny person. Fuck him. Anyway.
Anyway, speaking of voice actors, we have to say, let's salute one of the OGs, one of the greatest and most notable voice actors of our time of video games, in the fact that Nintendo shared the news on Twitter / I'm not calling it X.
It's just Twitter. We're not calling it X. You're right.
It's you still have to go to twitter.com to get there. Don't matter. They shared on Twitter that Charles Martinet, the original voice actor for Mario himself, is stepping back from recording. Basically, he's done playing Mario.
He's been Mario since Mario 64.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That was what, 95 when that game came out? 96
that's
maybe?
Crazy.
That's a long ass time.
Yeah.
Like I want to know, like, who got the bigger paycheck? Vin Diesel for Groot or him for Mario?
The lady that plays Goku in Japan, she's been playing Goku since like the 80s.
Holy shit.
She's in her 90s. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's her
That's
name?
hilarious.
Yeah. Masako Nozawa. Yeah, she's 86. She's 86 years old. She's been playing Goku since the 80s.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, so I mean, like, it is a wonder, like, how often do they bring him back into the booth? Like, for realistically, how much more did he have to record for every game?
Exactly. It's kind of interesting considering he's one of those characters. Like, Nintendo has a very interesting way that they treat their main characters, and the fact that they aren't anything.
Yeah.
So like Mario says like, "It's me, Mario," and then he goes, "Ooh, ah, wah," and that's it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Nothing else. So like, is Charles really working hard? You know what I mean? But
Right.
I mean,
But hey, get your paycheck, man.
exactly.
Well, my conspiracy theory is that a lot of times when people, like, I feel like this happens in Hollywood where you've kind of been the next one up or something, or you've been maybe thinking you're going to be the next,
One up.
like,
Sorry.
but like when they got somebody else to voice Mario in the movie, he's like, all right, well, that's my character. So, it's like when a late night show host is, and like the late show host, and then like that guy's like, oh, okay, I'll get to move up to the next one when somebody leaves.
right. Okay,
And then
yeah.
but then they go get somebody else, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm out of here too. So I'm talking specifically about Craig Ferguson, but like when they took out Stephen Colbert instead. So for me, it feels like that. Like because they casted Chris Pratt for the movie, he's like, man, that should have been me. I'm mad. I'm done.
Which, I mean, I don't disagree with him when it comes down to it. I think my hot take is that Chris Pratt has even more dirt on that many more people to the point that he was like, we're going to keep going, baby. We're going to get all the jobs we can. Let's fucking go. I'm Mario for real now, bitch. You can't make fun of me anymore.
Could you imagine if Chris Pratt became the new voice of Mario in every?
I'm telling you,
in
with
the
the
game?
power of God and Animate on your side, you can do anything. Anything in the blood of Christ. I don't know. So
It's true. I mean, speaking of that movie, I did see that it is a nice thing because obviously Charles Martinet was in the Mario movie, and so I saw people were saying stuff like honoring him on Twitter, and the fact that since Nintendo did also confirm that he will not be voicing him in the new Super Mario Wonder game that's coming out this year. So technically, his last voice work as Mario was in the movie playing Mario's father, and his last line was in that movie was saying to Mario and Luigi, "These are my boys." So it's kind of a bittersweet moment for him, but it is kind of hilarious that his last voice as Mario was in a movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna do like someone that's trying to do, because there was a big thing between, I gotta bring up Sonic. I like Sonic, I bring up Sonic when Roger Craig Smith took up a Ray. What's his name? His last name's Drummond. But there was a distinct change between those two characters, or those two actors making those characters. And I wonder if they're gonna try someone to actually like reinvent or like make a new voice for Mario, or is it gonna be someone
Right.
that's trying to pretend to be Mario the same way that we used to have in those
Yeah.
old video games based on movies where you have like, oh well, it's not Tom Hanks, it's like Jeff Hanks, like
Right.
you know what I mean? Are they gonna do something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, Roger Craig Smith definitely brought a new voice completely to Sonic compared to what we had before then. Whereas a lot of people definitely try to like remake the voice that they already had. Like, oh, we're gonna try to do it again.
I hope they go the complete opposite and just cast like Danny DeVito.
It's a me
my
fucking
God.
Mario.
Like make it
A funny thing, the guy that plays Clive in Final Fantasy 16 actually put in his reel, quote unquote,
to be Mario.
To be Mario. Yeah.
Yo, that dude want a paycheck. That dude want that bag.
It wasn't serious. He was just being fucking funny, but it's so funny because he's like, "It's me, Mario."
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
It's fucking me, Mario. It was good. He seems like he has a good sense of humor. I don't know what other stuff he's been in, but he's great in Final Fantasy 16. So
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they just like did like I mean, I don't think they'd do it because it's a bad look, but like just did the whole we got Charles Martinet's AI voice now, and we don't need any actual humans.
If that's what they're actually doing, which Nintendo
They could. He says 4 things.
Nintendo does hate their people. They hate everyone that loves their games, so they would do
And
something
they
like
love
that.
computers.
Yes. They love money and they hate the people that buy their video games, so they would definitely do that 100%. They're Disney in video game form.
Because I didn't go back and look, so I should have, and I forgot. At that Super Mario Wonder trailer, if Mario made any noise at all, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But anyways, yeah. But I mean, that's a long time for him to be doing that. Congrats to him. I think they said he's still going to be like in the company doing some other kind of ambassador type
Man's
shit, I
got
think.
stock, I'm sure, in the company.
I'm sure. Yeah. Right. I would hope so at least. Goddamn.
Yeah, he's probably on some kind of board, like you said.
Yeah. So congrats to him. Have some good retirement from this character.
Thanks for the memes.
Yeah, absolutely. Next piece of news. Like I said, Gamescom 2023 happened this past weekend. We would have made it the main topic, but not a whole lot of crazy shit happened.
I literally look at IGN and Kotaku every single day, and I did not see anything interesting come from this. I don't know what the fuck they talked
There
about.
wasn't a whole lot. Not gonna lie. Like I wrote down some stuff that I'll just throw out there with you guys. Obviously, Jeff Keighley had his opening night live little ceremony conference thing that he did and has been doing for the past couple years now. And yeah, again, there weren't really big monumental reveals. It's mostly real stuff. I can't believe they're still showing off Starfield stuff. We get it. The game's about to come out. I don't care about seeing any more Starfield stuff.
It literally comes out on the 31st. So
like, that's wild.
Yeah. Also, Jeff Keighley, we're not going to talk about how he got upstaged again by some other random foreign man.
Yeah.
Talking about Bill Clinton, even though he wasn't
a
nearly as
couple
interesting.
dudes coming out there, apparently talking about GTA 6 or some shit. Apparently, we don't want to have to give much time to them because they suck, whatever. I really hope this doesn't become a habit for these type of things.
And that's what I hate the most about when people does something that's like stupid, because then people just want to emulate it because they also want to be stupid and famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Jeff Keighley said it's very disappointing, and everyone booed him. Not Jeff Keighley, but the guy that did it. So that was super cool. Enjoyed that.
Just to clear that.
'Cause it wasn't even
Yeah.
cool. It wasn't even interesting. Like, at least if you're gonna be a dick, at least be a funny dick. You're not a funny dick. You're just a dick. Like,
It was just and
flaccid.
it's just like
flaccid dick.
Oh, what was
Exactly.
I didn't see this. What happened?
so like just like in the middle of Jeff just like talking, doing the conference, two dudes ran up on the stage like they did at the Game Awards last year. Like one person did. And they were just like, "Where's GTA 6?" Just kind of being assholes, you know? And Jeff, I'll give him props. He handled it very well. He
Yeah.
just kind of walked away, and then literally, like Brian said, he was like, guys, that's disappointing." And then he had a little bit of spiel about how like we're all here to celebrate these things, and it's really disappointing when something like that happens. Blah 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 blah.
I
Yeah.
want Jeff Keighley to carry pepper spray. I want to start pepper spraying people.
I want him to drop kick someone next time.
Hey, but I think withering disappointment is the biggest, like,
Exactly.
that's the most scathing thing you can do to somebody. Like, you're not even
It's
mad
true.
about it. You're
It
just
hurt my
disappointed.
feelings. Like, I wasn't even like, it was one thing when the thing happened with the people from software, and the dude was like, "Oh, you know, Bill Clinton, whatever." Like, that was goofy and weird and like shocking or whatever. But this dude, and he just like, "Well, come on, guys." This is really
Right.
disappointing. And I was like, "Damn."
One of them was wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin T-shirt.
Yeah, 316. Yeah. Okay.
He was so ready for that moment. He picked that out specially from his wardrobe.
Yeah.
I want them to start getting pepper sprayed just immediately.
I want him to have bodyguards with him on the stage, like just like shoulder to shoulder with him as he's doing the whole conference. So a couple quick things that were like highlighted. Like I said, Starfield, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 showed a gameplay trailer of the first level or some shit. It looked boring as hell. It was
We're
a bad
back,
demo.
baby. They're gonna put back all the stuff that they took away in Modern Warfare 2, so people in multiplayer are really excited. I don't know. I don't play Call of Duty anymore. It's
shit-
a waste of
Yeah.
my fucking money.
It don't matter to me. It don't matter to
Yeah.
me.
But people are excited for it. They say it's going back to the roots, which they say every year.
Literally every time.
Also, it's weird. Like, it's pretty well known that this was originally going to be a DLC for Modern Warfare 2
That's
that
what's
they just turned into
crazy.
a full-fledged game, and people are going to spend $70 on
They're
it.
doing the
And it's like,
Hitman
damn,
shit where they're putting all the Modern Warfare 2 maps into Modern Warfare 3 because it's the same fucking game.
It's the same
They're
fucking
not
game.
even
It's
playing
ca-
anymore. They're not even trying to pretend that they're not buying the
No.
same game.
And like, I didn't realize that. I had this thought the other day. It was like, wait, Modern Warfare 2 just came out last year. Usually they wait like every other year or every 2 years before the next in like that series. So I was like, how did they pump this one out so fast? And then I heard that story. I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. That makes way more sense. Damn, they don't give a shit. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, I got a Call of Duty rant later on in the show, so
Oh,
we'll get to it
okay.
later. Other thing revealed. They revealed 2 new fighters for Mortal Kombat 1, Sindel and General Shao, who's Shao Kahn, I would believe. I love this universe. I can't wait for this game. I'm not gonna get it day one, but man, this game looks good, and I just can't wait. I see more and more of it.
I saw a fatality based on an old fatality in that game where the whole world explodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole world explodes. So I'm like, is that really a fatality? No one wins in this situation.
That's amazing.
We're all dead.
I was beating
I
you
love
just
this
to prove
universe.
I could. And then I blow up and then I kill myself as
The
well.
whole world explodes. I can't remember if it was like it used to be like originally maybe a noob fatality,
Uh-huh.
but someone else has gotten it instead. And I don't know. Anyway, the game does look great. I wish I like fighting games. That game looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm just there for the story mode. They just know how to do it so well.
Yeah.
It's so great. I'm
Mhm.
very, very excited. Brian, this one's for you. Sonic Superstars finally got a release date, October 17th. That shit's not gonna sell anything because there's too many games coming out in October.
Yeah, I mean, it's having the exact same issue that Sonic Frontiers had, where it's coming out where
What
all
are
the
they
good games
doing
go.
to your boy?
They it's like they want to make money, but they actually don't know how to. They've never known how to.
They hate money.
So like when like money fell into their lap by accident, and they're like, we don't know what to do with all this money. Fuck. Let's throw it in the fire. Let's throw it away. Throw it away. Get it away from here.
Throw it away. Throw it in the fire.
And that's what's been,
Cleanse it.
that's what's been happening for the past 3 years, where they're just like, because Sonic Origins Plus came out recently, and it didn't sell very well because it was coming out during all these big games coming out, and it was already a DLC of a game that was already atrocious.
That's so funny.
I don't know. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it.
Brian, if you get this, we might do some co-op.
I am down for it. I'm down to do it. I pick Amy.
Oh, damn. Well, I'll be Tails. That's okay.
I'm gonna give you Tails anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I really hope this game is good and also does well, but man, they are setting it up to fail.
I don't know anything
Yeah.
about it because I know the big thing about Sonic Mania that everybody loved was the fact that it was made by like passionate people that were into making Sonic mods. And
Right.
stuff. I don't know if any of those people made it onto this team to make this game, because a lot of them didn't get paid well to make Sonic Mania, so a lot of them quit. So
Uh-oh.
that kind of caused an issue because some of them tried to work on Sonic Origins, and a lot of them were fucked in that position. They were like, "Yeah, we're not doing this again." So I don't know who the fuck
Damn.
made Sonic or Sonic Superstars. To be honest with you,
We'll see. You'll have to keep us updated, see how it goes.
Mhm.
Sonic be eaten.
That and obviously they announced some free DLC to Sonic Frontiers, a game that you also played. You gonna get it?
100%. I mean, it's free. Of course, I'm gonna get it. You get to play as Amy. Speaking of playing as Amy, you get to play as Amy in it. You get to
Yeah.
play as Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. I think.
You couldn't play as any of those characters in the actual game?
No, you just played
It's just
you just play
Sonic?
Sonic. Yeah, it's a Sonic game.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
They gotta add Shadow in there. They gotta stop fucking around. Put Shadow in there.
That's true. All right. Other fucking things. There was a bunch of other shit. Don't really matter. And now it's Killing Floor 3, a series that I don't care
Oh,
about.
I played the second one.
Um,
It is a game.
It's a game.
It's a
Yeah,
game.
it's a game. Armored Core 6 got a launch trailer, which that game is now out. Haven't played it. Heard it's pretty good, though.
It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game. It looks a lot less janky than the games that I played back in the day with Armored Core, but I'm still probably not gonna play it anytime soon. So I don't even think it's even on PC. I don't even think so. I don't know.
I don't know either, to be honest.
I think it is, but I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not gonna play anytime soon.
Yeah, so that's Gamescom. That's their opening night live, at least, and there was some other stuff throughout the weekend, but again, nothing monumental that is worth speculating or
Yeah,
talking
it
about.
turns out we have too many fucking conferences now with the death of E3.
Yeah,
People are just doing
Yeah.
too much, so I have too much information already.
and I'm glad it was also like because I kind of didn't realize it was happening, so I just glimpsed. I was like, oh, that's happening right now because I was out of town when it was happening. But I was like, oh, nothing's popped up, so okay, cool. It's just one of those things that it's like I think like Tokyo Game Show's coming up soon, I think as
Mhm.
well, and we'll see how spectacular that
Which
is.
is
Who knows?
funny because I usually watch all of these things, and I just didn't even have the gall or interest in watching them.
Also, it's too damn long. That shit was like 2 hours, 3 hours long.
I believe it. If Jeff Keighley's involved, it's 2 hours.
Yeah. Man loves to do it. But something else that was announced and fully announced past weekend was Sony's new handheld. Like, is that what I'm gonna call it? I guess it's not. I don't know.
Who's paying $200 for this? I'm sorry. Devin has not had a lot of time to talk about anything in this whole space. I feel like I'm just being annoying as hell, being upset about everything on this earth.
No, it's good.
That's okay. You know more than I do, so.
So let me brief you real quick, Devin, and before I let Brian go. So they announced it's called the PlayStation Portal, and it's basically it looks like an iPad with half of a PlayStation controller on each end. That's basically it.
So it's a Switch.
Yeah, basically.
But worse.
In the sense that, but
Ah.
worse. In the sense that it's only used to like play off of your PS5. Basically, you're streaming your PS5 to your this
So
new
the PS5
device.
has to be on.
Yes.
Oh.
It's basically so you can play it in a different room in your house in case like you have kids or that are taking up the TV and you
Right.
and you want to neglect them while also playing your game.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I bet this will be really useful for about 10% of the people that bought a PS5.
And that's the thing, Brian. Go off. It's $200. Go off.
It's $200 to get what already fucking exists. You know what I can do on my PlayStation 4 already? I can play on my fucking phone. You see this?
Yep.
You see? That's Xbox Game Pass. I have that. I can play Xbox on my fucking phone already. I can go and buy the stupid fucking controller called, like, I don't even know what it's called, like the grip or
Mhm.
whatever, put it onto my thing.
That sounds like a sex toy, bro.
Or just take this bitch right here and connect it to it and do exactly that for free. So why are you charging me $200 to do what my phone already does? I don't know. I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I can't speak about it. But my PlayStation 4 and my Xbox Game Pass can both be used on my phone right now for free. I assume PlayStation 5 would have done the same thing. Maybe they don't. So I just really don't see what the market of this is if it's not going to be a Switch. If it's not a PS Vita, if it's not a Switch, there's no reason to have this at all. At all.
Yeah, and I think Devin hit the nail on the head in the sense that this is a luxury item, 1,000%. Because like Brian said, I have the PS Remote Play app on my iPad
right now.
and I can use Bluetooth to connect a controller to it and do the exact same thing that this thing is doing. It's just, again, it's a luxury item in the sense that I can just have it on one device rather than having to prop up an iPad. Again, a thing I don't even use because I don't use Remote Play at all. And again, I think, like Devin said, this is for 10% of the population that has a PS5 to use. It seems like it's a thing that Sony was just like, we have wasted money and fuck you money to just make this random thing. Why not? we'll make some money off of it probably.
PlayStation is trying to do what Apple has been trying to do for a long time, but I think Apple's been
Yes.
successful in what PlayStation I don't think has been successful with. The same thing happened with the PSVR. The PSVR was a very luxury item that wasn't really purchased by many people because we learned that a lot of other VR was not only better but also cheaper. So no one bought the PSVR. And the PSVR 2 came out, and it cost the exact same amount as the fucking system itself. So no one wanted to fucking buy it. Because if you're gonna buy
Exactly.
that, you might as well just go buy a real VR system for your PC, which is also better
Right.
and then also cheaper, and you still get that situation. So I just don't really know who they're trying to, what demographic they're really trying to catch here. And maybe it's just me. Maybe
Rich
I'm
dads
just a
and
broke
rich
bitch.
parents.
Yeah, maybe I'm just on the broke bitch lifestyle, and maybe everyone
I
else is
think
like,
we
hell
all
yeah,
are.
hell yeah, bitch, we're gonna get this day one. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but in my idea, I just don't see this selling well because it doesn't feel like PS Vita was an interesting system, and unfortunately, it didn't sell very well, but it had a good idea, and I think if they built
Yeah.
upon that, this probably would have probably done decently if they tried to compete with the Steam Decks of the world, or the maybe not Nintendo Switches, but just things like that. I don't know.
It's
I
just
don't
like
know
a half-assed attempt to do that.
exactly.
It's like a
Exactly.
Switch,
Yeah.
but worse. Okay,
Maybe
here's
it's
my
really
money.
cheap to develop this. Exactly. Maybe it was really cheap to develop this. So they're just like, we can catch maybe a couple people from being stupid and just buy everything
We'll catch a few
PlayStation.
fish. This is some
Exactly.
old bait. It's not really good. It's kind of the bottom of the tackle box here, but we'll throw it out there, see what we get.
It's just so funny because
Right.
PlayStation has literally always failed on their handheld attempts. PlayStation Portable failed, PS Vita failed, and this is going to
Yeah.
be probably the biggest fail of all three.
Right. I mean, which is funny that this is also now RIP to the PSP, because this is also now the PSP.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, the PSP's been so dead for so long.
I
Yeah.
remember when it went so bad when I was growing up, and all we did was watch movies on it.
I remember it having
Honestly,
some
yeah.
very cool ads on TV. I remember being like, damn, I really want a PSP from seeing their commercials. You should go look
Yeah.
at those on YouTube.
And again, I think, yeah, it just goes back to who is this for? What kind of numbers are they trying to expect from this? Because again, this is for the person, again, with the fuck you money that's like, I don't really want to get out of bed and turn my PlayStation on. Let me pull out my
Yeah.
PlayStation Portal and
No, you got to
boot
be
it
the
up.
biggest PlayStation hardo to
Right.
be like, I need every appliance that it has.
Which is already so funny to like try to go towards handheld anyway, considering like the whole idea of this generation is fidelity. You know, the 4K, the 120 FPS, all those kinds of things will not be provided on this. I mean, it doesn't need to be. Like a 4K on a phone doesn't fucking matter because
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna look
You know what I
so
mean?
good
Like,
because it's such a small screen.
yeah,
Anyway.
it's probably actually 320p. Like it doesn't fucking. I don't know. So that's why I'm really just like,
Yeah.
are we really trying to go backwards when it comes to these kind of things? I feel like if anything, PlayStation wants us to play on our big ass TVs, the HDR and 4K
Right.
and all that shit. They don't want us to play on our fucking tiny ass whatever the screen's gonna be.
I wonder if this is like their trial. They're like their multi-million-dollar trial to see if people like this, and then if they do, they'll make a second one that has the actual things that people would want.
Yeah.
Like you could play like Bluetooth, because apparently this doesn't have Bluetooth,
Huh?
and you can't connect any set of headphones to it. Apparently, or something like
What
that.
do you can't connect headphones to it?
There's a phone jack, but like you can't use
Bluetooth headphones for this when everyone has nothing but Bluetooth headphones because it's 2023 and there's not even a phone jack on my goddamn iPhone. What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure.
What do
I'll have
you
to double
mean?
check before we post this, but yeah.
I'm gonna throw the fuck up. That is no. This is a failure. This is a failure through and through. I'm calling it right now.
Do not buy. Do not buy. Do not buy. The Fourtress Hub's official recommendation: do not buy this product.
That, and obviously, like, you could use it outside of your home if you have Wi-Fi. And like if you're in a hotel and you use the hotel's Wi-Fi to play from your PS5 miles away, but that's usually shoddy anyways.
Right.
But maybe it works. I don't know. It depends how good the Wi-Fi
If I
is.
can't play it on my bus on my commute to whatever job I got, that's super sad.
Nope.
Then there's no reason
Nope.
for me to have this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I live in a box, so and
It's weird. It is definitely a weird thing. We'll see. They also announced their first official pair of wireless earbuds that I think they're called the Pulse Explore, whatever. Yeah, cool,
Cool.
amazing.
I'm upset. You upset me today.
Well, they put them out there because these are going to be able to use with that PlayStation port. That's the reason.
The only ones that will work with that.
So these earbuds you can use
Okay, so it is Apple. That's just straight Apple bullshit. Okay, got you.
a little bit, and like maybe it is a thing where Sony realizes they are more than just a game company. Like they have they make other things, you know. So maybe that's their new strategy.
They
I don't know.
remember that they make other things.
Mm.
Hilarious. We'll see. I'm gonna get one. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's not that expensive, but it's just so
It's
useless.
expensive for the uselessness of it. Fuck
Like
that.
for $50 more, I can buy a Nintendo Switch and play Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, the best game to
Right.
ever come out ever. Like,
Ridiculous. Very weird. Very, very, very weird. All right, let's move on to some interesting news. Brian, I feel like you might have the most to say being the PC person you are. Apparently, Epic Games, they revealed a new opt-in exclusivity program that would give third-party developers 100% of their profits from newly released titles. This is via IGN for a limited time in exchange for their exclusivity to the Epic Games Store.
Epic is interesting because Epic is definitely moving in the same way that Xbox and Microsoft are, and that they just have almost unlimited money to burn, and they're using it to corner the market really hard and kind of be in a monopoly situation.
A little
Because
bit. Yep.
what money are you getting from this? What are you gaining from this other than taking money away from Steam? For anyone that plays PC games, Steam is kind of monopolized the storefront when it comes to PC gaming. If you play PC games, you
Right.
have Steam account. That's just kind of normalcy. Epic Games came out, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they're really trying and kind of almost struggling to kind of carve their own space in the area. So they're doing everything they can outside of Fortnite to kind of like make like a place. So a lot of games, like especially smaller game companies, have been reaching out to them to get that. And the biggest thing for them was the fact that they take less money than Steam does. Steam, I think, takes 30% of a cut when you put a game on their storefront, whereas I think Epic was taking like 20 or a little bit less than 20%. So 100%. What do you gain here? What are you doing? I don't understand what you're doing.
I mean, I think the key word is for a limited time.
I mean, sure, but we have to think about the way that games are sold as a whole. Like, I feel like
Right,
games really
right.
make the most of their money within the first month or probably 1 to 6
Mhm.
months, probably the biggest thing. And then it goes on sale, and then it probably has another bump. And then after that, it just kind of becomes, royalties at that point.
But if they're just launching this, wouldn't it? If you're saying that they're trying to compete with Steam as like a storefront, wouldn't it like just getting people to habitually start using Epic's platform first would be what you're trying to gain, and then later you kind of start scaling this back.
Yeah, and that's kind of what like Game Pass is doing the Xbox as well, which is kind of interesting to see because it's like I don't know that it's working. I know personally I have an Epic Games account. They give you free games like every few weeks. I almost only have free games on Epic Games Store. I've bought maybe 2 games on Epic Games because despite them giving me all those free games, it is not enough for me to be like, okay, this is a storefront that I now use exclusively.
Right.
Mhm.
Because there hasn't been a reason to. Any game that comes out there is still gonna either if it hasn't come out yet, it's gonna come out eventually on a storefront I actually would rather buy it on. They always have deals. There's always like huge like sales. I don't know. So I don't know if what they're doing is working. And that's what kind of worries me. Like, are they just trying to burn money until it eventually comes from the red and turns to black?
Yeah, I don't know. So I have a couple more pieces of info. So it's known as the Epic First Run program. So the the developers will keep all the profits for the first 6
Okay,
months.
see.
For 6
Okay.
months. Which is a decent, like you said, big chunk of time for games in
Yeah.
terms of sales. And then after that, it'll go back to the normal regular split, which was 80% goes to the developer and 12% goes to Epic.
12%. That's all they take. That's wild.
Apparently.
That's wild. Steam is definitely like at least, I'm pretty sure it's 30%.
I think I remember you saying that in the past.
Yeah, I think it's similar to like the way Apple on their like storefront, they take 30%.
I
Mhm.
wonder how, like, what does this deal compare to, like, when, like, for example, things like Final Fantasy is on Sony first for a year. Like,
Yeah.
how much does Sony pay Square Enix for that? You know,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
That's kind of interesting because I know a big thing that a lot of people had issue with as developers when it came to Epic Games is the fact that they will put a brand new game on sale so fucking quickly on Epic Games Store. So they usually have like really crazy sales where it's like, here's a coupon for like 33% off.
This game is now $3.
Yeah, so then like something like Final Fantasy VII Remake will be on that storefront and it'll automatically be 33% off where it's like everything where else I would buy it would be $70 and now it's 45 here. Like
hmm
that loses money to the developer.
Right.
So that's kind of a weird thing. So maybe this is like them trying to fight back to that. It'll be like, no, we'll give you a ton of money in the forefront so that won't happen. So when we do our summer sale, and make your game $3, you're not really losing a whole lot.
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, it's great for developers. At the end of the day, it's going to bring a lot of, especially indie games. So
Yeah.
all the best indie games that you're going to hear about are probably going to end up on this storefront first, or
Mhm.
maybe just be completely exclusive, so they just will never come out on Steam. Um,
Right.
that's going to be a net win
Good for
for them.
them.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it sucks. They'll probably lose some revenue in other places, but they're going to be set at the
Right.
forefront. So
Mm.
Interesting. Interesting. We'll see how that plays out for Epic. I mean, it might be a thing where Epic is like, we can afford to lose all this money because we make all the money with Fortnite.
exactly, it is 100% a Game Pass kind of situation where they're not making money from this. They're 100% losing
Yeah.
money for faith of
Mhm.
community, which is a bold
Right.
fucking move.
The bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off. Moving on. Some sadder news. BioWare announced a couple of days ago that they're eliminating 50 roles at the studio. BioWare. Whoo boy. What's going on? What's going on? What's happened to
Mm.
Dragon Age Dreadwolf? What's happened to Mass Effect 4 or 5? I don't know what they're going to call it. The question is BioWare even the same BioWare
Are you okay, BioWare?
anymore?
I mean, that's the biggest fear. Is the thing is they're trying to be so hard about how, like, oh, we're still good. Those games are still coming out, things like that. Like, we knew that BioWare was on life alert when Andromeda really failed, when Anthem really failed. Like, they just were putting out dud after dud. So we figured
Dude,
probably
I forgot Anthem was a thing.
Anthem was a game that existed,
Holy
and had
shit.
multiple seasons. Yes, they got to a point where they had
That's
Christmas
nuts.
lights up, and they never took them down because there's no one else playing the game. Uh,
And that's the saddest image in the world. You pass by a house that has Christmas lights on in March. That's tough.
No one lives there. They
Man.
probably dead.
Sad.
That's really stressful. And then firing 50 people on top of the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 came out and was an amazing RPG that also takes quite a few liberties probably from BioWare-esque games when it came to a lot of the
Yeah.
things that happened in that game. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that this BioWare was going to go under a long time ago. So the fact they even kept them for so long was crazy. But I know they have about 300 employees, or they had 300 employees. So 50 people leaving is a lot. That's a good chunk of people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to be optimistic, but I'm worried about them.
Yeah. The BioWare Studio GM Gary McCabe posted a thing on a blog post talking about how like they're gonna try to help those people like kind of find other positions within the company as they can, which is nice, but it's
Right.
still unfortunate that this is happening to those people.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. We don't know where any of these games are.
We saw some gameplay footage of Dreadwolf, and people complained a lot about it. I don't know if that made them want to go back to the drawing board. And then that plus, I know there's been, I don't know if you heard the rustle and bustle about Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate being as good as it is making a lot of companies like be like, uh-oh, do we gotta work harder?
We got some work
Yeah,
to
do we gotta
do.
work harder because games can be this good? Like,
That's my thing is that the last game they put out, or the last amazing game, Dragon Age Inquisition, most people would say was the last great game they put out. I understand you don't want to put out like the same experience, but like shit, the difference between Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 isn't that big, let's be honest, but they're great games. So my biggest question is, where are they stuck? Is it the story? Or is it the
No.
gameplay, Like that's the thing, and it's like if it's the gameplay, it's like just like pull it back a bit and just make a better Inquisition,
I mean,
you
but that's
know?
kind of the
Mhm.
issue. The try to make another Inquisition was Andromeda. That was Mass Effect Andromeda. They did a lot of the same stuff that they made in that game,
I
and it just
guess.
didn't work a second time. And that was kind of a big issue with them.
Well, like, what was the biggest problem with that? The gameplay or the story?
All of it. The whole thing was a
Story.
fucking garbage
Story.
game. No, I wouldn't even say the story. I would say everything about it. Like the animations about it were like just really lazy. The open world was
Right.
really boring and not very much fun. The gameplay was the best
Yeah.
part, actually. Funnily enough.
But to be fair, they made that game in like a year and they threw away 5 years worth of
And
work.
that might be
So,
what's
I mean,
happening
I thought
right now.
the combat was like the best Mass Effect balance it ever had because you had flexibility of what you could pick and stuff,
Yeah.
and the combo like things were really cool. But yeah,
Right.
they definitely need to make another Mass Effect.
Mhm.
And that's where like obviously we won't know. Sometimes these things slip out, rumors come out and leaks come out. We learn some things, but as of now, obviously we will never know what's going on behind the scenes there. But it's just like, where are you stuck?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
definitely trying to go for a more action RPG version, kind of a la Final Fantasy 16. It felt like what we saw about like maybe 3-4 months ago.
Right.
Maybe something wasn't working. Maybe it felt too boring. Maybe they had a play test with like another dev, maybe like because that happens sometimes where devs will come and like play another dev's game and be like, "Ooh, maybe you need to work a little bit more on this." So maybe that happened. I
Right.
wouldn't be surprised with that.
Because I do wonder if it's a thing that would people be excited for a more polished Mass Effect 3 or a more polished Dragon Age Inquisition? If like there were very, very minor tweaks, or is that game already too old? Because I'm asking from a person who hasn't played either one of them, but only know that they were fucking allotted for the gameplay elements of them and stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
Would that is the way those games were played already too old in our time?
I would say no.
Yeah, I don't
I
Okay.
think
do
so.
think that one thing about story-based games, especially like the more close to AAA games, is gameplay almost matters less than I think we give credit for. I think we think games like, you know what I mean? Because like, yes, I do think that,
Yeah.
Last of Us 2, for example, is a very polished game and a lot of it felt very good, but it's like a lot of people probably don't actually like that kind of gameplay. But if you like
Right.
story games, you're willing to ignore a little bit more of the issues with those kinds of games because you want the story so
Mhm.
much. Assassin's
Mhm.
Creed, I think, is another game where it's like Assassin's Creed's like gameplay is kind of boring after like the first few
Right.
hours.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're more interested in the fact that you want to get to the next like situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Story
story
beat.
beat.
Yeah.
In BioWare, it's always been about the story and
Exactly.
the world
Right.
building.
That's where I'm wondering. Is like, is that the biggest crutch that they just can't get over that hurdle of they don't know what story they're
But
crafting?
they got, I mean, they're not laying off the writers. Like, are they? I don't know. I mean, like, the overall, like, those minds behind the scripts of, like, Inquisition and all that kind of, I feel like they
I don't know.
Those
would
people
be
already quit.
accessible.
First of all,
Yeah, true.
Right.
those people don't exist anywhere
True.
anymore.
Right.
They're probably laying off low level jobs like QA stuff like that. They said they want to make a more agile company, which that stresses me out as well because that means they're probably just trying to.
They're just trying to pump
Yeah,
shit out.
they're trying to. What do they call it when you're a ghost crew? This situation, and I don't think that's
Mhm.
gonna be the right idea. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think that Dragon Age will come out. I am not so confident about Mass Effect coming out ever. I think
Yeah.
Dragon
They
Age is
teased it.
far enough in their their
I think they'll
development.
put out
Yeah,
something.
in their develop. Yeah, I won't say it's a good game, but in their development, I think that'll actually come out. Mass Effect, we've seen nothing. We've barely even seen a teaser for Mass Effect.
Yeah.
That game will be the first one to get cut.
Right. And and the thing is, it might get to a thing where like someone like a Baldur's Gate 3, someone might make another space epic,
I
in
mean,
the meantime.
BioWare got the stolen from when they made they bought the rights to that. They might buy the rights to Mass Effect as well, Larian Studios. Who knows?
Dude, I'd be for it. I wouldn't hate it.
They tell a damn
If
good story.
Starfield looked better, that might cleanse the palate for people. As far as like big epic space things,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
pulling for you, BioWare. We hope
I
you
love
get your shit
BioWare.
together.
Yeah, they're one of my
Yeah.
favorite companies of all time,
Yeah.
and seeing them
Same.
fall in a whimper is really disappointing.
All empires fall.
Fuck. Speaking of empires falling, we're hoping that these strikes mean some empires fall. But in the meantime, we got some delays to talk about.
No.
I know. Sadly, the calendar is getting emptier and
Get a little
emptier,
thin.
boys.
I'm gonna cry.
So, all right. Obviously, we know the writers and actors strikes are still continuing. Keep fighting that good fight. Hopefully, you guys get your pay, get some deals worked out. But this doesn't look good because obviously one of the major things that was delayed was Dune Part 2.
Ugh.
Supposed to come out November 3rd of this year, has now been pushed to March 15th of 2024. That to me
But why?
means that they don't think this shit is ending anytime soon. Because like November, I mean, it's not far, but it's not close. You'd think that they'd be like, I think we'll be able to get the strike done. That way our actors and people can market this movie before it comes out. Because that's probably the reason. That's the reason why they're delaying it, because they have no one to market the movie. They're worried they won't make money. So, but that to me means like they don't think though this shit will be. There's no done deal come November, which is like,
Mhm.
is there a deal this year, guys? What are we doing?
Yeah, nothing is changing this year. We're gonna still be deep into
This is wild.
Yeah, which is crazy. I don't.
Fuck. I was so looking forward to Dune Part 2, bro.
Oh my god, me too.
It looks so
I'm
good.
very sad.
It looks so fucking good. That's what sucks about it.
I'm ready for the story to like actually kick into high gear, because in that first movie, great movie, but I was like,
Mhm.
bro, this was definitely half a story by the end of this. Like, let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah.
And now we got
Yeah.
it's rough. It's rough. It's a rough time. Obviously, other things that were announced today that we're moving. Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, which is the sequel to Godzilla versus Kong, that was going to come out March 15th. That has now been moved to April 12th, so not a big thing. This one kind of interesting, and I'm not quite sure why. The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim. We talked about this in the past. It's an animated film.
Hmm.
That went from April 12th of 2024 to December 13th of
Damn.
2024.
Maybe they can't work on it, right? So,
But who I get maybe the voices?
well,
I
I
don't think
can.
animators are on strike. They're still filming Sonic. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
that's all I was like, who? I don't know. But okay. All right.
They could just delay that forever and just never.
No, I want to see animated. I want to see that one. That one sounds actually kind of dope.
I mean, true.
We'll see.
I guess Rings of Power season 2. You can just delay that forever.
You like
Just-
that show,
just
so I
don't-
don't know why you're being so hard on that.
I'm
Do
about to
not
say,
resume.
Devin, let's go back. Let's cut back to Devin's positive takes on during Fortress Finest. and now,
Oh.
and now.
I've soured since, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think that we're just in a really weird space where, like, I even know that, like, reality TV, some people, like, we know Netflix Love is Blind is considering making a documentary in regards to how awfully they were treated during the filming of that. So we might not even get
Yeah.
reality shows in the span of shit, because they're considering striking as well, of being like, we're not doing more reality
Dude,
shows.
that would be hilarious.
It
It would be so funny because
funny.
honestly, a lot of those people are real dumb that go on those shows. But man, those people, they should because they get abused as shit. On
Yeah,
those
They
shows.
do.
I mean,
They do.
I've been watching the most recent of Ultimatum on Netflix, and it's like distinctively worse than the other seasons. And I'm wondering if anything has to do with the
Oh,
fact of
really?
the strike, of like maybe they had trouble finding people. Which, funny enough, I'm pretty sure it's in Charlotte, this new season,
Oh, really?
that's
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I wonder if anything that had to do with maybe the strikes maybe caused an issue with this. I'm sure it was filmed way before then, but maybe people are like
Right.
feeling that issue of like, well, we don't want to work for Netflix anymore because this is bullshit. So now they just found like whatever flack they could kind of scrummage up.
Mhm.
Who knows what
Yeah.
fucking TV we're gonna get in the next couple of years?
Bro, it's gonna be bleak. It's gonna be bleak. We're gonna have a lot of recastables coming up.
Listen, I've got a long backlog anyway, so I'm not stressed. But man, anyone that's like really
We're
into
gonna have to
TV,
dig deep.
anyone's in the TV, you're fucked. I don't know, dude.
We're gonna start watching fucking the Golden Girls and playing PS1
I
games,
was about to
guys.
say, did y'all ever see Cheers? Because we're gonna be watching it.
We're gonna talk about MASH next week.
Can we just get whoever was like the negotiator for like the UPS strike? Let's just get them in
I
here.
was about to say, those motherfuckers making
UPS
six
just-
figures now.
I know. UPS just immediately agreed to everything that they were asking for. It's like, can we
Like,
just
yeah.
get whoever was in charge of that in here?
I will say the positive about the strike is that we get beautiful glimpses of people like Bryan Cranston yelling about robots on the street. It's pretty amazing to watch. Pretty amazing to
And
watch.
he's heated.
One real quick thing though, it's interesting that Warner Brothers didn't delay everything. They still have like Aquaman coming out this year.
Huh?
supposedly.
No way. No
Wh-
way.
Which to me is like maybe they're just like fuck it. It's probably not going to make money anyways. Our past 4 movies haven't made any
Just send
money.
it.
Just throw it out there. It's getting
Yeah.
rebooted anyways. Whatever. But I was just like, that's like a potential. The first Aquaman movie made $1 billion.
That's why I'm like,
guys.
there's no way that they're just trying to throw it away. You know what I mean? That seems like such a terrible idea.
Or maybe they think we'll just be so starved that we'll all go see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing where like they felt maybe they did the first Dune a disservice by doing it was back in the day when it was direct to HBO Max and in
Mhm.
theaters, so that's why it didn't make so much money. And they're like, let's give it a big hurrah. But I doubt it. That's the reason why. I don't know. Interesting. They also didn't delay Wonka, which is devastating. No.
Now, talking about a movie that's not going to make any fucking money.
Oh no.
Oh, Wonka. This is so funny. Yeah, so we'll see. Sorry, Dune. Off the schedule. Next
Sad.
and final piece of news to talk about in our weird hybrid main topic. But to do that, we must enter the trailer park. So let's go.
Mom's Spaghetti.
I'm sorry. I don't know. What's going on here?
Alrighty.
Broken glass.
Also, this is definitely not going to be a mini, so I'm looking
I
at
was
the
about to
time.
say, yeah, we have a full ass episode right here, baby.
One Piece, not we're not talking about One Piece, sorry.
Thank
No,
God.
one piece of news for this. We got a teaser trailer that was actually shown during Gamescom's opening night live for Zack Snyder's Netflix movie Rebel Moon. For listeners who don't know what the hell that is, watch the trailer. It looks like Star Wars and Dune. But that is because this is like very knowingly was originally a Zack Snyder pitch to Lucasfilm of a Star Wars movie. Obviously, Lucasfilm did not want that, and so he ended up taking it back and just kind of developed it into what it is now. You can see the Star Wars in the fucking trailer, guys.
Mhm.
There's lightsabers. It's called Rebel Moon. It's there. It wears it on the sleeve. There's a lot of Dune in here, it looks like, as well. A part
Mhm.
of me wonders how you get away with it. I guess, like, you can't copyright a laser sword, I guess, but it's
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, I think a lot of this is the same way that Mass Effect existed from Knights of the Old Republic, where it's like they were like, ah, we might be able to make a better story about space than
Than you did
than yeah.
with your own
That's
thing.
what they came to. That's what kind of
Yeah.
Mass Effect kind of came from, was the fact that they enjoyed making the Star Wars stuff. So seeing
Mhm.
Zack Snyder
Right.
do that, there's potential for it to be interesting, but it's Netflix.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, Netflix thing is worrying. However, my main takeaway from this trailer is how many shots are in this trailer. There's just
It's a
so
big trailer.
much.
It's a 3-minute teaser trailer.
It's like 3 minutes 40 seconds, and there's like so much in it,
It's a
like
lot.
so many different shots of what's going on. I'm like, how long is this movie gonna be? Like, looks like a
Yeah, this is where
show.
I got one question was obviously at the end of the trailer you see there's 2 movies. There's gonna be part 1 coming out December 22nd of this year called A Child of Fire, and then part 2, The Scar Giver, coming out April 19th. So I'm thinking that this is footage from both parts. This is both movies here,
Mhm.
which is why there's so much going on, obviously. But I will say, after watching it, I'm kind of interested. I
Yeah,
think the
yeah.
story is probably going to be really dumb because that's Zack Snyder's stories that are written solely by him or very much his baby aren't that great, But I'm excited to see the action and the choreography and the
Mhm.
cinematography because that
Mhm.
is one thing I've always said that if you got someone like Christopher Nolan or someone that could write a solid story and then have Zack Snyder be your cinematographer, that movie fucking works. Because he's also
Mhm.
he's an artist in the sense that he draws, he does other things. He has an eye for a shot, and he knows how to craft a shot in a very visual way. So I think visually this movie could be stunning. I think,
Mhm.
like Brian said, I think the Netflix part of it scares me a little bit, but this could have better lightsaber fights than Star Wars.
And it like and from the trailer, it looks better than a lot of other Netflix stuff. So maybe they're getting better with their special effects.
I
I mean,
mean, we know they're very biased in what they put their money into. Stranger Things looks a lot better
Right.
than
Mhm.
One Piece probably will.
That's
Right.
You know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm weirdly interested, in seeing how this works. And like apparently Netflix is too. They're going all in on this Rebel Moon universe with these 2 movies. There's also a video game in
oh
development that he's
no.
working on. Yeah. Yeah. Those usually never work, but
Yeah.
hey, whatever. He's talked about maybe doing spin-offs from this movie series. So if this works, Netflix, I mean, obviously Netflix is trying to find anything, but this could be the reaction to Star Wars on Disney
Mhm.
Plus.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can be swayed. I have a lot of issue with Star Wars. One of the things I have an issue with is the battles. I think the fights are really fucking boring now. Outside of the
Right.
prequels, lightsaber fights are not good. So if they can win me over with some good fight scenes, some good anime-esque kind of things, uh, I might be a Rebel Moon fan. You might see me buy the
It
toys. I
could
don't
work.
know.
Yeah.
You might see me with the poster back here.
And it's low risk. Like it's not a show. You could just go watch part 1 of the movie and see what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of fucking people. That was the last thing I had that I wrote down. There's a lot of fucking people in this movie. God damn. Anthony Hopkins is narrating, which and the Jaimin Hansu's in here screaming like he usually is all the time. Uh, there's a lot of people in this movie. I'm like, damn, this is one thing I would say. This feels like a big globe trotting epic, which could be a bad thing in that there's way too much
I'm about
going
to
on in
say
this
that
movie.
kind of scares me as well. Also, just like and I hate that we know how stuff is made, because that makes me like the first thing I'm worried about is budget. If you get that many big people in a
Yeah.
Netflix show, like usually, like I don't know if you ever watched what was the movie with Will Smith in it. They do this thing on Netflix a lot where they
Gemini Man. No.
not Gemini Man. It was like blue something with the blue ogre dudes. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, where they
oh,
made it about
with
racism, but the blue
the
people were
orcs.
black.
The
Yeah,
orcs are black people.
yeah, the orcs are just black people.
Bright, bright.
Right. Yeah, there
Terrible,
you go.
terrible movie. Fucking atrocious. Well, they spend all their budget on one A-list actor, and then they just don't spend any more money on anything else in the actual movie. I don't want them to do that with this, and I don't know that Zack Snyder would allow that to happen, but I still think that they only have so much money,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that worries me.
The only thing is that might give me some hope, and I didn't watch this, but I heard decent to good things about it, was I forgot that Zack Snyder put out that zombie movie that was a Netflix movie as well.
Army of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that that was also a Netflix movie, so this isn't his first go with Netflix, so clearly he had fun and working with them, and from what I
Mhm.
heard, that movie wasn't terrible.
Mhm.
So maybe he found the magic sauce in working with Netflix.
He's putting up his own money.
I don't know.
He's fronting his own cash.
It wouldn't be the first time,
Yeah,
man.
right.
To be fair. We'll see. I'm excited. It'll give us something to talk about come from fucking December because shit, everything else gonna be here.
This is delayed.
Mhm.
But that's it. That is the news. that is the main topic. Guys, shall we now hop into our final segment of the week?
Ooh, let's do it.
Which we like to call free for all, title pending. Listeners, this is a segment where we can kind of do whatever we want. Talk about our day, talk about life, rant, nap. It's free for all. I'm going to go first because I got a fucking rant to talk about very quickly.
Oh, no.
So, this could end up being a whole main topic down the line at some point when we actually like think about it and talk about it and do some stuff about it.
Oscar learned a thing that existed for a long time now, but you just
I know.
discovered it.
Which I've just now discovered because let me get into it. I'm talking about my microtransactions right now, real quick, listeners. Because for the first time, I actually looked into purchasing one for shits and giggles. And that is because Nicki Minaj is now in Call of Duty, guys.
Hell yeah, brother. I don't even play Call of Duty, but I was like, this could convince me.
I saw it. I was like, because Snoop Dogg, I think, came out a couple weeks ago. I was like, where's Nicki at? Where's she at? And she finally came to the store. I was like, shit, let me go check it out. I looked at it. I was like, cool. She's only worth 2,400 Call of Duty points. Let me go see. I got 1,000 for some reason. I might have just gotten it like for free. I don't know. A long time ago. I've always had it, just never spent it. Let me see how much 24. What is that in real people money? That's $20, guys. That is $20 to play as Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty. I could not believe it. What do we do? I know I'm very late to this train, but that's because I don't pay for shit. I don't give a shit. I'm not giving you money for no crap. I don't care. Very rarely have I ever purchased a skin or anything like that.
Just wait till you hear about Fortnite.
And that's where, yes, but like I couldn't believe it. And like even like with the 1,000 that I already had, I still would have to pay a minimum of $14 to get the rest of those points to buy her. I'm like, I don't even want to pay $14 for this skin. I thought this would be like $7.50, $10 max because it comes with her skin. It comes with 2 guns, blah, blah, blah. It comes with a skin for a car, a wallpaper, and some shit you can put and customize your gun with. But ultimately, it's the skin. But I'm like, that's atrocious. And people pay for this shit.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Welcome to freemium games, brother.
It's
funny that so many places ban gambling, but we've gotten so close to gambling in the real world when it comes to video game space, which is really not okay. And we really need to take like a good look at that because freemium games, the amount of people that don't spend money on buying the actual game doesn't matter anymore because of how much money gets spent in things like microtransactions for that exact reason. Because you have 3 people that spend $20 on the Nicki Minaj skin. It doesn't matter if your game costs $60 anymore. Because who fucking cares? Which is also crazy because Call of Duty does cost $70 in order to buy that game as well.
And that's what is insane. I don't want to spend a third of what Call of Duty costs for a skin.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For one skin to play as one character. And then there's games like Fortnite is crazy because of this amount of content they're able to push out. But because they're able to push out so much content, they're able to make so much more money. Because it's not just like, you know, like Halo, for example. I was telling you about this a little bit off air. It's like they had one little like, I don't know, like bundle that it costs $32 in order to buy that whole bundle.
That's so gross.
And Halo is really interesting because it doesn't like make you into a new character. You're buying things like, you know, shoulder pads, new visor colors, things like that. Like you're not gonna be Nicki Minaj in Halo. You're gonna be just a different kind of Spartan. So it's almost like that should be worth less money, but they do that a lot. And like I think the average cost for that is like $18 for like a whole new skin to make your Spartan look completely different than what they look like now. Whereas Fortnite, you'll have anything from they'll have them on sale for maybe $8 to $20, $22. Like Ariana Grande costs $20-something in order to buy that skin to play as Ariana Grande in Fortnite. And that's one of thousands of skins are in that game right now. And people usually want more than one because you want to change it up and play as different characters. That means people are spending hundreds, thousands of dollars like to play that game that is technically free.
Right. You spend as much money as you want.
Yep, and that is on top of the battle pass. There's not just skins for the characters. There's skins for the guns. There's skins for the vehicles. There's all this other stuff, music for when you're loading into the screen, things like that. All of that costs money.
I'm so glad I wasn't a 12-year-old during the hype, the peak of Fortnite. My God. Thank God.
I worked disputes for that during that time, and I had so many people that I had to deny their disputes because children were literally stealing the credit cards of their parents and just buying, you know, tons and tons
Mom,
of
I gotta play as Rick and Morty.
Yeah, so there was just like $20,000 worth of transactions happening, and it's solely to buy video game fucking pixels. And I have to tell them, like, I can't do anything about that. You have to literally sue your child if you want to get your money back. Like, it's crazy. It's fucking ridiculous.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
No, absolutely. Fuck little Timmy, brother. I don't give a fuck. You got Rick and Morty. We're taking you straight to court.
And that's the thing. Fortnite at least is in third person. I don't even get to
Doesn't
see
matter.
myself as Nicki Minaj in
You can
Call
only
of
see
Duty,
Nicki
man.
Minaj if you do
True.
like a fucking assassination or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Only if you
I
die,
don't-
right?
I get to pay $20 to not see myself as Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
It's almost like I should just play the game and see everyone else dressed as Nicki Minaj. That, you know?
no, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just really sad because there was a point in time where we used to get mad about like DLC and stuff like that, and felt like that was like cash grab.
Mhm,
And look at where we
Right.
ended up now, where you literally can barely play a video game without having to spend money on it.
But you don't.
It's
But that's the thing. You don't
crazy.
have to. Like I played
No.
Apex and I never spent money, and you got like you unlock some skins, and it's like enough for me. But again, it's like I think it's something deep down in human nature. Like why do people get luxury cars? Why do people
It's true.
get expensive watches? Like there's something deep down where we want to look cool
Yeah.
and we want to possess things that
Yeah.
are seen as valuable by whatever system we're in. In a video game, you do like, I feel the pressure. Like when I used to play Fortnite and Apex, like you do feel the pressure to like I bought the battle pass once because I was like, I just want to have not the basic skin, right? I just want to have one skin.
Fortnite's
And
really
you do it.
good at doing that because there's a moment before you actually get into the game where you're just seeing a bunch of people and you're just kind of everyone's just spamming their dance emotes. Everybody's like showing off their stuff.
Yeah,
Everything like
just
before you
show
actually,
it off.
all that
Yeah.
happens before you actually get into the bus and then
Yeah.
drop and start playing the game. So like if you're just a normal ass person
Very
not having
smart.
anything, and you see the motherfucker hitting the gritty, you're gonna be like,
Mhm.
You got a bunch of 8-year-olds yelling at you because you look like a
yeah,
normal
like
dude.
I want to hit the fucking gritty. Like goddamn, where's the store at? Fuck, let me see if I can do it. Like
I'm telling you, there's something deep
Yeah.
down in our psyche that like yearns for that.
It's weird.
And that's why it works. And they've like just like Epic was the first one to capitalize on that. But every game, like it's
That
nice
seems
that you
like
can play that.
psychological fucking manipulation.
I mean, it is. That's
It
why
absolutely is.
That's why I'm equating it to like gambling and stuff. It's 100% manipulation. Like there's 100% psychologists
Yeah.
that work for these companies solely to make people want to spend more money on these games.
Right. Even come down like, shiny, like stuff will be shiny, just like a holographic Pokemon card, And it's like, ooh, like,
Oh my
I got to unlock that because it has a shiny background. Like, dude, like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Diablo had an issue with that. Diablo Immortal specifically, the phone version of Diablo had an issue with that because they were like, we think that this might not be okay for people because that's a big thing that they do. A lot of like those gacha games, the like what the fuck, Genshin Impact is another big one where it's like every single time you do something, not only do you get stuff for it, but it makes big noises. It's very bright. And pew, 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 pew. You got this and this and
Right.
this and this, and that's giving you that same kind of feeling that you get when you like play like a slot machine, where it's like,
Like
oh,
a dopamine
yeah.
release.
you won $3, and it's like, oh, I won $3. It's not much money, but like
I just spent 15.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
when you shoot a firework off when that happens, that gives people dopamine, and they're like, "Oh shit! Well, let me do this shit again. Run it back, baby. Let's do it
Mhm.
again. Let's do it
Right.
again." And you just keep doing that until the point that you've lost all your money, and that is definitely
Yeah.
100% being put into video games, and it's
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah.
We gotta fight
It's not
against
okay.
that.
It's
No.
Like-
And I mean, the best way to fight it is just to play the game without buying anything.
which is why I don't really feel bad. I haven't put a single cent into Destiny 2. That shit was free.
Good.
I've abused that system, so
Good.
I should give them some kind of money. I
fuck
feel
'em.
so bad.
Fuck them.
But yeah, it's just like I was like, oh well, sorry, Nikki, I love you, but I'm not spending that money for that. Are you out of your mind? That's that again. This is all kind of back to the PlayStation Portable or Portal, not Portable, same thing, whatever. It's all just fuck you money, and it's
Mhm.
crazy.
It doesn't add anything to your gameplay. It doesn't make you a better
No.
player. It doesn't do anything else. I mean, I buy the battle pass for Halo, and I've bought a couple cosmetics in the thing as well. My Spartan looks fucking cool. I like the way my Spartan looks.
There's some cool stuff.
You know what I mean?
Though. There
Yeah,
is
yeah.
some cool stuff. Not
The
gonna
only
lie.
reason I spend money on that is because I know the game is struggling. And I want to help where I can.
Right.
But at the same
Right.
time, it's like, yeah, like it sucks. I don't know. It's such a fake version of video gaming now, where it's like back in when I
Yeah.
used to play Halo, you knew someone was good at the game based on what they looked like. Like in order to
Mhm.
get the stuff, like in Halo 3, for example, in order to get the best stuff and look the
Mhm.
coolest, you had to 100% the campaign and beat it on legendary, things like that. Now it's
Mhm.
just, oh, I know this guy spent $50. That's it. I just know he
Yeah,
spent $50.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
I don't think he's good at the
It's
game. or
cooler when it
anything.
means something.
Yeah.
Right.
World of
Yeah.
Warcraft is going through the same thing where it's like I used to get special gear for being like top level in like PvP or something like that. Now it's just spent $30. You
Mhm.
spent
Yeah,
$30.
it's-
Okay. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy, and I was just like, I was legit shocked. I was legit blown away. I was like, all right, I'm gonna spend a cool $5-7, and I was like,
no.
fuck
The
my
very
life.
first Overwatch skin that was ever released was a Pink Mercy skin that also went to charity, and it cost $10. And I remember people saying that costs too much. Now the average Overwatch skin costs $20.
That's crazy. Dude. That's so nuts.
Mm.
Holy shit! And it's not
Yeah.
like these companies aren't making
No.
money. Like fucking
No,
hell.
they're making a
No,
shit
I mean
ton.
they found they found a quick way to make money. So yeah.
Yeah. I know that was long, but I got one last thing I do have to say real quick. I also saw Blue Beetle again this past week I took my fam. We saw it in New York, and it was dope because the theater was not packed, but decently full with a bunch of brown people.
Let's
It was,
go.
it was an awesome experience. Devin, have you seen the movie yet?
I have not. I've been very
All right, Devin,
busy.
Mr. I got to go to the RNC convention. No.
Devin has been
Yes.
canceled.
I've been watching a lot of PragerU.
Where's your
and,
prison photo with Donald Trump?
Yeah,
Where-
yeah. I was actually indicted this week. So sorry.
Yeah, but no, it was really cool, really dope. Loved it. That movie making no money, but it's all good.
Dang.
Shout out to God of War Ragnarok.
Boo.
I do want to go see it.
I hope you do.
So
Well, then you got it, or else we're gonna keep making this joke until you do.
I also
Yeah.
think it's worth a watch. If you saw The Flash, this is much better than The Flash.
damn, man, that's crazy. See,
Is
And
it?
I gave money to pay the Flash, so I think morally I have to go see Blue Beetle.
I think morally you do too.
Ezra Miller does not deserve your money. These brown people do. So yes,
Yes,
you gotta go see it.
Thank you.
I can go next real quick. This actually would be something that Devin would like. I have been watching, or just started watching, a sports anime. I've been watching Blue Lock.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
is that the boxing one?
That is the soccer
No,
one.
Soccer.
That is a soccer one.
Ah,
basically-
Brian, you're gonna be a soccer fan now.
Yeah, basically the story about it is about how in 2008 the Japanese team got like, I don't know, really low in the FIFA World Cup. So because of that, they make this like huge like what would you call it? Like this huge combine to kind of like find the best
Mhm.
players in Japan to build a better team. And it's kind of following this story around how someone's making this big old team around these people. I've watched like maybe
Huh.
like 3 or 4 episodes so far. It's it's something. It feels very Squid Game. If anyone's seen that kind of situation.
oh no!
No one
But not
dies.
like they don't.
No one dies.
But it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just.
I was
It's
like,
a competition to be the best striker in Japan.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird competition that like they'll do some things that you
Ah.
never really know like what's the point of what they're doing. And they're like, oh well actually you do this and this and this because the way your toes touch the ball makes you a little bit better at doing this.
Right.
You know how anime is when someone pushes their glasses up and it says the most nerdy shit you ever seen. It's that kind of happening
Yeah.
over and over again.
I love the break of mid-second where he's like reading the game and he'll be like, wait, if I do this, then the midfielder will move here. And then it's like this all happen like it's like a 2-minute long explanation for something that happens in
half a
2
second.
seconds.
I would say is like in his mind is a lot of mind palace
Yes,
work.
it's super
Right,
animated. It's
right.
like, oh, well, I read him right now, so I know if I actually pivot left, he'll never be able to catch back up. Oh no, he's
Yeah.
fast. I didn't think he'd be that fast. Fuck, what do I do now? It's that kind of situation. Yeah, it's very
Like,
dramatic.
The little surprise sound like, oh, a left foot back heel?
No, my
A
favorite
back
part
pass?
is there when you're first introduced to the main character whose name I truly don't remember. He also meets another guy that he like knows from like real life or whatever, and you think that that's
Mhm.
gonna be like a pretty pivotal character. And at least it's kind of a spoiler. It's a little bit of a spoiler for Blue Light. He's gonna be like a pretty pivotal character. You're like, okay, this guy's gonna be like his fucking rival. Like this is the Gary to fucking Ash Ketchum. Let's go. He's gone in the first episode.
Yeah.
like kicked out of the competition.
His ass had to go home.
He takes a soccer ball to
That's
the
hilarious.
fucking nose and breaks his
Yeah.
nose and loses immediately. Immediately. But the way they present him, he's like
Yeah.
really cool. He has cool hair, and you can tell he's like really good at
Right.
what he does. So you're like, okay, this is the guy you fucking gotta watch. Like he's gonna cause some
Yeah.
issues. He's gone
Mhm.
immediately. You don't see him ever again.
Man, I love Blue Lock. I haven't finished it, but I really
that
like
was
the
my
show.
question. Is it a show that like is it over?
So it's only 24 episodes so far. I'm pretty sure the manga's gone further than that.
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
not 100% sure. I don't know much. I'm watching this straight
Right.
cold. I know nothing about this.
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting though. That's
Yeah.
dope.
But it's cool because it reflects reality. Like for me, not like I don't watch a ton of anime, but I watch like the big ones. But this one is like one where it's like it reflects a real world
Mhm.
scenario.
Yeah,
Because
fucking
like the
Messi is
Japan,
in there. Fucking
Yeah.
like
What?
real people are in this.
Yeah, they have like these
They
characters
reference
that are
them.
like well, they do say
Oh,
Ronaldo.
okay.
They do name drop like Messi and Ronaldo and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's like a
That's funny.
striker that's I think based off of Mbappe, which is like he's like
That's
another new
funny.
name. But the thing is, like Japan is so good technically. Like they're a fantastic soccer nation. Like they always do very, very well. They're very good. They're a very good team, but they never get past like the round of 16 in the World Cup because they don't have like the show says, they don't have like a striker. They don't have somebody that's like a
Right.
selfish because they're so team first. That's the whole
Yeah.
premise of the show.
Is that they're not
and I think for
individualistic.
Japanese culture,
Yeah.
like Japanese culture as well, like when people were standing in lines for 12 hours after the Fukushima thing, to have this anime where it's like to be a striker you need to be a little selfish. Like you
They
need
don't
to
have a
be
Jamie
a
Tart.
little
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, like and like it's so abhorrent to the main character who's like, no, but I have to do what's best for the team. But it's like, but the whole psychological game of the competition is like, no, you need to be selfish and like
Mhm.
you need to be confident and like take your chances when you have them instead of passing or make the right pass, which I think is what he's eventually learning. But like, I love it as a concept.
It really seems interesting for that exact reason that it does talk a lot about like it's funny that like a Japanese person is like seeing that and noticing that and being like, yeah, we're very, communal, country, and we need to maybe
Mhm.
be in some aspects a little bit more selfish around each other because that kind of helps you be a
Right.
little bit better as people.
Because it's like a contradiction at the heart of soccer, right? Is like you do have to work and suffer and like work together to make anything work in soccer. You must work together. Like if you press a player alone, you're just going to get exposed and waste your
Right.
I
time.
mean, that's why there's so many turnovers in soccer. That's why soccer fucking is so lame sometimes. Because if you ever
Oh.
try to do anything by yourself, you're just gonna get fucked, and you just wasted 3 minutes.
But see,
you know what I mean?
that's the whole thing with Blue Lock is like that's Japan's really good at that. They're really good at the teamwork part because of their culture. But then like to be the striker, like to be Ronaldo, you
Yeah.
have to be like Mamba mentality. You have to be like,
gotta be
get
a
out of the
dick."
way. I'm taking the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole show's about. And I
That's
love
funny.
that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love it.
interested to see where this goes.
I love how Devin said
Mhm.
he loves the anime because it's like this one because it's like based in reality, and then his other
Yeah.
one is Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Which,
like Demon
the one that's
Slayer.
really based in reality.
Well, true. Yeah. Yeah, true. It's also nice to have an anime where like the stakes are lower, like nobody's going to die.
Right.
It's
So
not
that's
the end of
nice.
the world.
It's just fucking
yeah.
soccer, but they do try to make it kind of high, where they're like, "You'll never play soccer ever again." It's like,
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's too much, but yeah,
Why
they're just
not?
trying to drive the intensity up.
Yeah.
But it is nice to like, hey, the worst case scenarios here is you have to go home. It's
I
nice.
just thought it's like with a horse race, like a horse breaks its leg and then they have to go in the back and shoot it. That dude that broke his nose, they had to do the same
Just kill
thing.
him.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, it's just soccer, man. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brian, I'll
Ay,
pick a
ay,
team
ay.
for you. Okay. I'll send you the kits for all the teams in England, and then you can pick one.
Sounds good.
And that'll be
Sounds
easy.
good. I'm into it.
Well, shoot, I can very very quickly go, boys. I just want to comment. I booted up Master Chief Collection today.
Oh.
Oh shit!
I played a mission in Halo 3, and they just don't make them like they used to, man. I'm just feeling very nostalgic, feeling very satisfied with it. The shooting is so smooth. The grenade explosion is so satisfying. When you see that rocket go and just the grunts are all flying in the air, just nothing quite like it. Nothing has ever been as sweet as Halo.
I
back in the
still
day.
play the multiplayer like every once in a while. I actually booted up MCC earlier this morning and played a couple games of Halo 4 specifically, which is not
Oh,
an
cool.
amazing Halo, but it was one that I was good at, so I play every once in a while. And yeah, I still love it. I still think that there's a lot of good, and there's no games that exist at this point like Halo, which is really
Mhm,
interesting.
exactly.
Halo had something special. It's really sad that they're struggling right
Right.
now because damn, those games were really, really good.
Well, hey, let's play multiplayer sometime, and then I can just like coast
Yeah,
on your team.
no, just hit me up. I'd be more than happy to play some co-op.
I usually break even. So
Oh,
I'm
you want to
usually
play
like 12
multiplayer?
and
We can play
12.
multiplayer too if you'd like. Yeah, sure,
Well,
sure, sure.
no, campaign would be fun. Campaign would be fun also. But yeah, multiplayer. I'm mostly a bird.
Just
So-
let me know. I have everything installed except for Halo Reach because I don't like that one.
Ah,
I'll install the campaign, but I'm not gonna install the multiplayer. That shit sucks.
That's so funny. That's dope. That's cool,
Mhm.
man. It's always nice to hit up an oldie.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Again, we're gonna be hitting up a lot of oldies with no new shit coming out. It's gonna be a lot of that.
this is the last Halo we're gonna see in 12 years because nobody works at 343 anymore.
343 is now 0.
34.
Mm-hmm.
That is our show, listeners. You can email us at thefortress@gmail.com, Fortress spelled F-O-U-R. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 R's like a big, beautiful Bollywood movie. Rate, review, and recommend us to anyone and everyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_. By the way, Alex at Peters of Films, and Devin, you can find him buying a ticket for Blue Beetle. Next week, listeners, at this point, we don't know if we'll have a main topic. But we might do this again. We might have a main topic. Either way, it won't be a mini-sode because newsflash, it ain't
We don't
no
know how to
mini-sode
shut
no
the
more.
fuck up.
But we still have a good time either way. So we hope you enjoyed this. As usual, happy holidays, and put a code on this code out there.
Yeah, I'll be on Zanzibar shooting grunts and elites.
Zanzibar.
I don't know what the hell that you're talking about. Is this Halo still?
Yeah, it's Halo.
It's called Last Resort in Halo 3. It is not a resort. You don't want to hang out there.
It's the last resort you want to finish. All right. See you next week, listeners, in another episode in the Fortress of...